carbohydrates are not a problem if they're unrefined carbohydrates found the way nature packages them. Whole fruits are wonderful for us. Whole grains, particularly if you mix the grains. Wheat sometimes gives diabetics a problem because you can absorb the sugar rapidly. Oats is much better, barley is better, rye is better because of the type of non-starch polysaccharides in them. So often mixing the grains is helpful. It's not fat that's the problem, it's refined fat, vegetable oil, animal fat, which is all refined by the animal. Those are the problems. And if we can get people on a natural, plant-based diet, it's amazing what happens and how the body recovers. We have Deb who has diabetes that can't be reversed, and yet that diet will open her arteries, help her kidneys function better, save her feet, help her heart to, the arteries to her heart not to clog up and give her problems. And then we have Diane who has type 2 diabetes, and she's been able to reverse her diabetes with the diet, which is the ideal. We can't reverse Deb's, although I wish I could, but at least we've made progress with both.
Absolutely. The fat part is interesting to me because we've been told for years that certain types of fat are actually really good for you. I'm thinking of things like olive oil, but when we're looking at reversing disease, maybe these are some things that we need to shy away from.
Yes, it's a little bit confusing until you get into the science behind it and the physiology behind it, but the body absorbs the fats more slowly when they're packaged, like in an olive. If you eat a whole olive, you're going to handle that fat. There's 3 grams of fat per olive, but you handle that fat differently than if you take all the fiber and all the nutrients out and just have the oil. And so our diabetics and people with coronary disease can often get by with some fats. Not high-fat diet. I don't want you to eat a can of olives, but you can get by on seeds and nuts in moderation, and grains have fat. No problem as long as you're getting it packed the way nature packs it. The body handles it differently, and people do very well with that.
Okay. Ladies, you both used the word vegan. When Dr. Howe first talked to you about a vegan diet, what'd you think?
I thought, oh no. But I have to tell you, he's got the right approach, because the way he approached me is he said, are you willing to try it for like 2 weeks? And I said, okay, I can do it for 2 weeks. But after you do it, you don't want to go back.
Okay.
In fact, Deb, you went back once, right?
Well, I had to go. We went to our son's wedding. And of course, it's very hard when you're not in control of what's going on. And I ended up having oil on my salad. And we did eat pasta. We had pasta. But of course, when somebody else is cooking, you don't know what ingredients are in there. That was just a weekend. And it was bad. I came back. I had a doctor's appointment with him. Just my monthly appointment, and my pulses had gone
in just a weekend.
In 1 weekend.
And
wow.
I felt so terrible. I also have gastroparesis, which is a delayed emptying of the stomach from diabetes, and I have acid reflux because of it. And the acid reflux had gone crazy. I mean, it was just a weekend, and I was like, and the only thing he said to me is, just get back on your program, get back on your program.
Yeah. That's the other thing that I hadn't expected. Her acid reflux symptoms markedly improved on this diet. And then on a weekend off, she didn't feel well.
Wow. Wow.
That was an understatement, didn't feel well.
Wow. So Diane, what did you think when you heard the word vegan? That's kind of a heavy word.
It was a little daunting at first, but you know, your tastes change afterwards. After probably a month or so, you know, I've slipped and gone back a few times, but haven't really liked it. I didn't get the satisfaction I thought that I would, so I've gone back onto it, and it's worked well for me, and I'm sticking to it.
The word vegan seems to evoke some challenges for many people, but really what we're talking about is just a natural diet, a
plant-based natural diet, a whole food diet based on plants.
Yep. Now, what role does physical activity play in all this?
Well, you know, physical activity is critically important when you can do it. Deb here has multiple problems that keep her from being really active, and yet she's experienced the benefit of the diet. Type 2 diabetics, if they will become active, in addition, it accelerates the benefit of the diet and really helps. It helps with weight loss, something we haven't talked about at all. Weight loss wasn't the goal here. The goal was to save a foot and to reverse diabetes. Diane, you've probably lost some weight, but you know, that wasn't the goal. And the more strict you are with the diet and the more you add in exercise, the more weight you will lose. And both ladies have lost weight, but that wasn't my goal. If you look at diets only from what will it do for my weight, you can get into some kooky diets.
Absolutely.
That's what happened with Atkins' diet. Atkins' diet works great to lose weight, but your cancer risk goes up, your heart disease risk goes up, so you look better when you die. Well, you know, that's not really what I'm after. It's how can we make people feel better? How can we make them actually healthier? And it's the whole concept of thinking of food as part of the medicine or the therapeutic regimen.
Well, that's what you mentioned with Diane, that you chose to use food as your medicine. That's kind of a wild concept for many of us.
I don't think it is all that wild myself. Because I know I've seen people do it before, and I didn't want to take medication. That was just my goal. I did not want to go on medication, and it worked.
So you guys have been living this lifestyle for a while. You mentioned that your husband is very supportive. What does the rest of your family and your friends think of all this?
I get teased a lot at work. That's okay.
My family thinks I'm a little kooky, I think, because they're still on the meat and the thing. My husband and I are both doing this. He says if I have to eat this way, he might as well too. So we're both doing the same thing. But when we get to our extended family, of course, they're still eating the original way that most people eat, and so I think they think we're a little kooky.
But you've gone from having no pulses, no blood flow to your feet, to having blood flow. You've gone from having some challenges with your transplant kidney to getting that function back, at least a third of it. So it's worth it.
Yep. Oh, it's very much worth it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.